Hello. Today we're going to be playing Shiren the Wanderer 4 Plus for the PlayStation Portable. The English patch came out just about a week ago now, and it's been updated once. There's version 1.0.1, which fixes a event, just in case you haven't heard about it yet. But otherwise, it seems like it's pretty stable. We haven't had any errors reported besides that, so you can find it over at romhacking.net. So yeah. Anyway, today I think I'll be doing a main story guide. And first, I like to look at the settings whenever I start a new Shiren game. And once you get used to the game, you can switch the walk speed to fast if you want. But if you're new to the game, I'd probably recommend sticking to normal. And message wait is an option that was added in the version 3.10 update. I think it's an option that speeds up the game a little bit by removing the delay between scrolling messages inside dungeons. And I like to set the analog pad to scout, just so you don't have to enter the menu each time you want to access the scout command. And I'll just be mashing through the story instead of like reading it out loud and stuff, because this video is going to be focused on the gameplay section of the main story, not so much the story itself. So if you want to experience the story, I would probably check out a different video or play it yourself. Although I will explain some things in like village facilities and stuff like that. At least the ones that are kind of relevant. And you might notice that the scene is similar to the English patch teaser video that I made. It's actually the same scene, but I just rewrote the text for the teaser video. And it was kind of funny. Like, after I made the video and uploaded it, in the video it said the patch took 3 years, or like we've been working on it 3 years. But when I checked the date of the project thread, it was actually 4.5 years, so it had been longer than I thought. But anyway, now we're in the tutorial dungeon called Southern Isle Beach, and it's basically the Oma Shrine if you've played Shiren 5 of this game. Koppa gives you advice as you go through the dungeon. There's not a whole lot to say about it, I think, if you've played other Shiren games especially. And you might notice that CD hits a lot softer than in Shiren 5. And that's because the game is not balanced in the same way. So like the same monsters might appear in Shiren 4 between Shiren 4 and 5, but they have different stats. So it might look pretty similar, but the game plays pretty differently once you get going. And the main food item category of this game is bananas, or like a banana. And the way it works is similar to peaches in Shiren 5. They ripen as you progress through a dungeon, like as you advance floors basically. So it starts off as a green banana, and then it ripens into a yellow banana, which replenishes more fullness than a green banana, and then the yellow banana turns into a ripe banana, which replenishes even more fullness than a yellow banana. I think the values are 50 fullness, 80 fullness, and 120 fullness. And if you wait too long, once it's a ripe banana, the banana will spoil, which is equivalent to a rotten onigiri. And Shiren 4 has kind of like a tropical or like southern island theme going on throughout most of the game. So you'll see a lot of like palm trees and stuff like that. It's kind of a nice like change of pace, I think, compared to the usual setting. And for this guide, I'm planning on doing a no carry-in items guide, so we won't be bringing any of the items we obtained in Southern Island or Southern Isle Beach. Yeah, not a lot to say during a story scene, I think. This village that we're in right now, Boronga Village, does have a few flags you can set at the beginning of the game to affect some things later on. So I'll show those before we head out. The first one is talking to this guy. He mentions a bargain hunter, and that's one of the roaming NPCs you can encounter inside dungeons. So if you talk to him, it sets the flag so that she'll offer to shop for you instead of just like the conversation ending. And if you talk to this lady, she'll give you a free undo grass. It's a one-time event. And then talking to this banana with a crown on his head sets a flag for one of the post-game unlock conditions, I think. Post-game dungeon unlock conditions, that is. And if you're completely new to Shiren, I'd probably recommend talking to this NPC and doing the Shrine of Challenges. It's basically like additional tutorials and this guy lets you play a mini game called Statue Cave, which they're not exactly tutorials, but you can still learn some new techniques and stuff by playing them. So like if you ever get stuck or something, I'd recommend talking to these two characters and going through their topics. Anyway, this is like the main shopping, banking, and storage area inside this building. This guy is the item shop. You can the items here are selected randomly each time you come back to the village, and sometimes he sells escape scrolls. So like one thing you can do if you want more escape scrolls is to intentionally collapse on the first floor of the story dungeon and then cycle the shop until he stocks escape scrolls. There isn't a point shop like Shiren 5, so it's a little less convenient to get like escape scrolls and stuff like that, but it's still doable if you want to play that way. And this is the bank NPC. The first time you deposit any amount of Gitan, she'll give you a revival grass. And you get different items depending on the account, like the total amount of Gitan you have in your account. And this storehouse is separate from the warehouse. The warehouse is like the dungeon mode storage, and this is the menu-based storage. You can store up to 80 items here. So let's go ahead and store all of our items. So now we have no money and no items. Oh, I pressed A too much. Or you have to speak to this NPC before you can advance into the dungeon, but okay, so now we can begin this main story dungeon. And the main story of Shiren 4 is definitely on the harder side if you don't bring any items into it and do a fresh run. But that said, the early game of it, like up until maybe the 12th floor or so, is pretty straightforward and not too difficult, I think. And like especially early on, like the first 5 floors, you can play pretty sloppy and you won't have any issues, I don't think. I'm playing on a, playing using a, what's it called? Nintendo Switch Pro controller right now, so the D-pad is a little, awkward to use. Like I have some misinputs going on. But, oh wow, lots of weapons. So, my Alpic Masher is a weapon that increases damage to Cyclops types, like Gazers, and Crescent Katana increases damage to bomb types, which is like the Explosion or Pop Tank. And Lizard Lasher increases damage toward dragon types. So Lizard Lasher has the highest base attack, so I'm going to stick with that as my main weapon for now. And this guy, I think you need Sightgrass to help him out, so like he was blinded by a monster. And we don't have that item, so we can't do anything to help him, so I'll just ignore him. And Hoppodile is a dragon type, so if you look at the message log, we did 18 damage to Chintala and 24 damage to Hoppodile, so they basically won't be a threat in Crocodile Swamp with this weapon in hand. And I'm hoping to find some rocks if so we can collect some arrows, because Crocodile Swamp generally has a lot of arrow traps usually. And if you don't have rocks, you can still like walk around the edges of trees. And since we have a safe shield, Froggo can't steal our Giton, so we can safely hunt them. Oh, here are some rocks. Oh, there's an arrow trap. So, with what you can do with rocks is they land 3 tiles ahead, which means if you throw them onto an arrow trap, you can collect arrows. And each time a trap activates, it has a random chance to break. So sometimes it breaks right away, but other times you get lucky and can collect quite a few arrows before it breaks. Oh, there's another one. And it is a little tedious, but it's very much worth the effort, or worth the time it takes to collect arrows. And I think I saw we have 3 bananas, so I'm not too concerned about fullness at the moment. And you might notice that I'm not picking up Giton and like inserting it into my inventory, but that's because I'm not planning on hunting a cave mammal or Giton mammal. And Giton just takes up a lot of inventory space if you start doing that this early, so I just figure it's not worth the hassle. Not getting as lucky on this floor when it comes to arrow traps. And since there are trip traps, or trip stones, I like to place pots on the ground near the exit instead of carrying them around when I look for arrow traps. Just to avoid like accidentally breaking them. There's a poison arrow trap. There's a trip stone. I'm being a little sloppy here, but it's not that big of a deal. And I think arrow traps always come from the right, so if I throw it this way... Oh, wrong way. I guess from the left of the direction you're facing. And board kappas always miss their item throws at level 1, so you don't need to worry about them throwing a pot and having it break, or throwing any other item and having, like, getting hit by it. So before I search for arrows on arrow traps on this floor, I want to find the exit and set the pot down. Oh, before I step on a trip trap and break it, is what I was going to say. And we do have a Purify scroll, so I'll just go ahead and equip this to check the upgrade value. And I'm watching my fullness right now to see if it's a heal bracelet, but since fullness is not decreasing any faster than normal, it's not a heal bracelet. So let's try throwing a copper edge. Okay, so it's not a pierce bracelet. I'm not sure what this is then. We'll keep it equipped for now. Oh, and one thing about aquatic type enemies is that if they're standing on a water tile... Oh, well, I was gonna say they heal their HP if they're on a water tile, so you want to move them off of the water tile first before attacking them. But the ones in Crocodile Swamp are pretty weak, so I guess you don't really need to do that type of thing to deal with them. I think we found 4 traps on this floor, so we're maybe not going to find any more. Instead of consuming a banana to continue to check, I think I'll just go ahead and advance to the village. Let's see. I guess I can use this earth scroll. Yeah. And one thing I wanted to do, if we could find another poison arrow trap, was to step on a poison arrow trap to test the bracelet, to see if it was a cleansing bracelet. And even if it wasn't a cleansing bracelet, it's fine if you get your strength lowered here, because there's an inn in Gonshiki village. And staying at the inn restores your HP, fullness, and strength to max. Don't really need some of these weapons. Yeah, +2 is kind of nice. If we were to find a synthesis pot, but kind of doubt we're going to find one, so... And we can use the money to buy other stuff. Probably don't need 2 warp grass. We can save one of them as a synthesis ingredient. Oops. And this bracelet, the selling price is 1,050, and selling prices of items are generally around a third, like 1/3. So it's a 3,000 Gitan bracelet, I think. Which means it could possibly be a cleansing bracelet. So instead of selling it, I'll just keep it on hand for now. And Crescent Katana, I don't know if we really need this, because bomb type enemies are kind of rare in the main story. I think I'll go ahead and sell it. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll stop by the blacksmith and probably upgrade our weapon, because the shield is a little weak and it's not like we're going to be able to tank attacks later on anyway. So now we freed up one inventory space so we can talk to this guy and get the torch and get the long explanation about how the night mechanic works. And in Shiren 4 you start with Sticky Shot, the ability which inflicts paralyzed status if the monster survives. But it's also just a pretty high powered ability too, so they often don't survive during the main story. Okay, I think we're pretty set. It would have been nice to get more torches in the item shop, but they didn't have any in stock, so we only have one torch on hand. So we might need to get a little creative. And when it turns to night, you want to take one step at a time instead of like dashing or just moving around normally, because night enemies can quickly level up and become very powerful. I do want this torch, but our inventory is pretty full, so I'm not sure what to get rid of. I guess we can read a navigation scroll. I would have liked to save that for like the end of the story, but we have a lot of items that are taking up inventory space at this point, so. And one thing you'll notice in Shiren 4 is that some enemies have, some night enemies have regular AI instead of the random AI at night. So, Board Kappa is one of the enemies that has regular AI instead of wandering around aimlessly and attacking nearby creatures. And Chintala is one that has the random AI, so it'll attack other creatures and it won't necessarily follow you all the time. And Kaboom Bullet is basically a stronger sticky shot without the paralysis side effect. So it's fine to upgrade the sticky shots with kaboom bullets. And snide frogos always drop blessed Gitan, which can come in handy, so let's see. I think I'll wait for now though. Dizzy Talisman. I was kind of hoping we'd find some more storage spots before this point, because this is around the point where your inventory kind of gets packed. I don't remember if the bears... Okay, they do appear. Let's see. To free up some inventory space, I'm going to try to level up this bear with a fear scroll, and then use a banana peel to defeat the level 2 bear. Oh, it's a Froggo. I guess I can do this instead. There we go. And Electrocute is actually pretty bad in Shiren 4 compared to Shiren 5, so I'm going to skip it. And Bidirection Warp is handy. It shoots an energy bullet or spirit bullet forwards and backwards at the same time and warps the targets if they aren't defeated. So you can replace like Sticky Shot maybe with one of them, but and since we have another fear scroll, I think I'll... let's see. Yeah. Let's go ahead and create another bear. Level 2 bear. And it's a little wasteful to use a banana, but I'll just go ahead and use it anyway. There we go. Now we have some freed up inventory space and also leveled up quite a bit. And since we have a myopic master, we probably don't need to keep the slight grass for synthesis, but for now I'll just keep the slight grass on hand. So we have a fire puff here. On these floors, so we can actually grill our bananas. And what grilled bananas do is they replenish not as much fullness as yellow bananas or ripe bananas, but they can be used to restore HP because they heal 40 HP. So that's pretty good. Oh, niggity. You know, I probably won't use both of these Gitan bags, so I'll just pick one of them up. There we go, grilled bananas. And it's a little tedious, but we're going to put these into pots too so that they don't become spoiled from if we step on a spoil trap. Oops. Oh. And this guy teaches you a new ability. If you're lucky, he'll teach you Cluster Confusion. But since we didn't learn that one, I'll just skip adding it. And this guy, you can pay some Gitan to have him identify an item. So I think I'll do that with this bracelet. Okay, so it was a cleansing bracelet. Actually, Purify Scroll probably shouldn't be in a pot in case a pot gets cursed or sealed. And Expand Seed is the same as Stomach Expander in Shiren 5, but in Shiren 4 they don't work on mixers, so there's no point in saving them for later. Let's see. I guess I can try to show off a technique you can do. At night. And it's always better to tap the buttons when you step in place at night instead of holding. Like this. So that you're not caught off guard. Looks like we have some items over there, so I'll go check those out. Just Keaton. I guess we can eat this onigiri too. But since the radius that's illuminated dimmed, I'm gonna stay in this spot instead of taking a step. Especially because there's an evil Chintala 6 around. It's just not worth the risk. Oh, whoops. Oh well. 3 bags of Blessed Kitan is good. And we can eat this onigiri. And since we don't have a torch, I am curious what that item is in the... Actually, yeah, let's go check it. I'm sure we'll be fine, even without a torch. Famous last words. Okay, so Snake Hole has slimes which can reduce the upgrade value of your weapon or shield by 1. So you want to unequip your weapons and shields, or like weapon and shield, before they become adjacent to you. And Curse Girls can curse or seal any item, not just equipment, in Shiren 4. So, let's see. I'm level 19 though, so I might be able to one-shot them with a punch. Nope, okay. That's not happening. In that case, I think I'll use a... Nope, that did not work. That was a little sloppy on my part, but I was hoping that the Dizzy Talisman would just hit instead of miss, but they never hit when you want them to. And I could use a Purify Scroll on this pop, but a village is coming up pretty soon, so... And it's not like we need the food right now, yet. So I think I'll wait to use it. And that shiny spot requires 9 or more strength to dig up, since it has blue sparkles mixed in with the yellow. And we don't have a strength bracelet or strength grass, so we can't dig it up, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Okay, so we did find a banana, which means we don't need that pot with food items in it for a while. Oops. Pinning staff, that's great. We do have a cleansing bracelet, so we only need 1 antidote grass for synthesis. So I'll go ahead and eat this one. Oops. Storage pot 5, that's excellent. And since night is coming up, I see a decent shape over here in the hallway, so I'm gonna wait here, I think, at night. Since we don't have a torch, we don't want to wander at all. And we have a green banana, so I'm gonna have this fire puff grill the banana as well. So we're just gonna camp out here for the night, and hopefully not run out of ability uses. And this does consume quite a bit of fullness, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind. Oops. Yeah, night monsters hit very hard without a light source. So, you can't have too many mistakes. Or in some cases, any mistakes. Oops. I forgot that they can breathe fire through corners. And there we go. We made it through the night. Let's go ahead and upgrade our weapon again. And Snake Hole does have spoil traps, so you want to put bananas inside pots. After grilling them, or whatnot. Yeah, projectile accuracy in Shiren 4 and 5 are quite low. I think it's like 84%, if I remember right. Oops. Probably won't be able to do anything about that Zalok left stealing an item, so I'll just ignore that. And mid Shintalas hit pretty hard, so if your level isn't high and you don't have a good weapon, you probably want to avoid trading hits with them too much. What did the Zelocliff steal? I didn't. Swiftgrass, okay. We will want that. And we do have a cleansing bracelet equipped, so scorpions aren't threatening with their poison sting. And if we're lucky, we'll find an item, but an enemy could jump out from sparkling spots. And it's going to be night soon, so we need to find another spot where we can make it through the night pretty safely, if we don't use the navigation scroll. Counter shield, that's not too useful. Other than, like, you can sell it, I guess. Guess I can eat this. And I do want to save banana peels, just because they're quite nice for tough enemies. I'm thinking this mail pod isn't really needed, but it can be sold for quite a bit of Gitan in the next shop, so I'm trying to hang on to it. Yeah. Sightgrass is decent too, in case we encounter a monster house later on. But I guess it's not exactly essential. So I'll use it. Oh, poison arrow trap. That paid off. Or not. Okay, I guess we're camping out here this time. Got a little distracted. And there is some risk involved in staying here. Dark Boy cards aren't an issue though, because they don't attack inside hallways. Unless there's an enemy behind them, I guess. And one thing that's possible to do here is to use foul morphs to create more spoiled bananas. If you have poison arrows, you can weaken their attack and then go next to them if you have a light source. But since we are out of torches and I don't want to use a navigation scroll, I'm not going to do that this run. Oops. Yeah, you really have to be careful when you don't have a torch, because even a stray hit like that can end your run if it's a leveled up monster. Like that Foul Morph 6 would have been a run ender if I got hit by it. Oh, this is an NPC called Badmorph. If you refuse to laugh at him, he'll gain some courage and offer to change a random, not random, an item of your choice into a yellow banana. But at first he won't turn it into a yellow banana, it'll be a spoiled banana, so let's go ahead and change this counter shield into a spoiled banana. And if you press select, you can get a closer look at the map, which can be handy in like kind of maze-like areas like Sea of Trees. Let's see. I think 2 bags of Kitan is enough. I don't need 3. I think this is the exit up here, so let's check the other areas first. And if you trade hits with like everything on these floors, Tiger Tossers hit pretty hard, so you want to start using some projectiles if you have them on hand. But try not to burn through all of them yet, because there are going to be even tougher floors later on, where you'll need projectiles. Let's see, what was this? Empathy staff? It's more useful than a mailing pot, I guess. And we do have a lot of Gitons, so I think I'll just go ahead and trade. Sail pot is not that great. I think this guy teaches an ability too. Billiard's Blast is kind of tough to use, so I'm gonna skip it. I think you have to have an ally with you or something like that. Oh yeah, strong cards. I forgot they were around. Force arrows are basically knockback arrows in Shiren 5. The name just didn't fit, so I renamed them to Force arrows. You know, I probably won't use an empathy staff since I have poison arrows. Blank scroll. That would be nice, except we didn't play any of the tutorials, so we don't have much in terms of like scrolls we can write in. Instead of being a free form like input, you can only write in scrolls that you've read in the past before, like Shiren 5 in this game, so. But it's definitely still worth keeping. I'm not really sure we need an identify scroll at this point, because if we find bracelets, we already found a harder to identify one that's good in cleansing bracelet, and otherwise, like, the only notable bracelets I think are monster detector and heal bracelet during the main story. So yeah, let's keep moving. And it's gonna be night soon, so we need to find a spot that's relatively safe. I really want to save this banana peel for the ruins, if we can, so anything else I can... Maybe don't need bind talismans, though we don't have many other talismans, so they're kind of nice to have. We could get rid of one Swift Grass. We only need one for the boss fight. A lot of decisions, or possibilities. One force arrow. We could also just discard that, because it's just one arrow, I guess. I think I'll go ahead and camp out in this room at night. Because it's a small room, monsters shouldn't spawn in it after the initial spawn. It's a little scary with gazers and absorbifants at night here, because they have regular AI instead of random AI. So it's easy to burn through ability uses very quickly. But I think we also have a pinning staff if needed, so we can warp out of here if we get cornered and have no ability uses left. So overall it's a pretty good spot, I think. Oops. Okay, we got a little lucky there that none of our items got destroyed. Okay. Oh, Room Cyclone. You learn this at level 22, and it's a very good ability. Doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, but if you use 2 of them in a row, it usually wipes out most monsters in a room. During the main story, at least. And we do have a blank scroll, so we could ask that scribe NPC to write on it for us, but the pool of possible scrolls is a little too large when you don't have many registered, so I'm gonna skip it. And it's wasteful to use a grilled banana when you don't need to heal HP, but since we don't have alternatives, I went ahead and ate that. And I still want to save all the banana peels we can find, so not going to use them yet. You know, I probably won't use a hide pot. Except to deal with that guy, I guess. Oh, hatchet. This is a good weapon to synthesize because it grants a chance to deal critical hits. guess I'll just use this. No, I won't. Maybe I will. I'm thinking like it'd be nice to save it for later on, but because there are Curse Sisters later on near mixer floors. So it's nice to have a Purify Scroll as a backup just in case. You know, I probably won't use the ski ton, honestly. A lot of strong cards around here, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty good. And the purifier is this building. So we successfully saved our Purify Scroll for later. Oh, 2 storage pots and some bananas, that's excellent. There is a warehouse in this village, so we can drop some stuff. Without having to sell the items, I mean. And just buy out his shop, because these are all good items. And Revival Grass doesn't work when it's inside a pot in Shiren 4, so you want to be careful of that. Just never insert them into a pot. And let's see, what else? I think all of our other items are pretty good, like we don't need to sell any of them. I guess I'll split up the grilled bananas into multiple pots. That way, if one gets cursed, we aren't like stuck without a way to eat some food. Because I think there are curse traps in the upcoming area. Okay, now we can advance the event. Story event, that is. And now this guy will let us through to the next area, but since it's getting close to an hour and a half now, I'm going to take a break here for part 1, and we'll continue next time from Raktata village. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time.